wheel, got the engine on the run. Songs, he's got the playlist, singing it out loud. Another open road, another brand new town. From the mountains high to the oceans deep, they're living the dream, they ain't losing sleep. With a glass bar full and a tank of gas, they ain't slowing down, they ain't looking back. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze, roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go, forever Huffs living, wherever they go. Cruising down the coastline, drinking their hands, dancing on the deck to a steel drum band. Larry's cracking jokes, making new best friends. Saucy snapping pictures, cause the fun won't end. From the northern lights to the streets of Rome, everywhere they go they make it their home. With the world so big and their hearts so wide, they'll keep on moving till the end of the ride. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze, roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go, forever Huffs living, wherever they go. No map, no plan, just a ticket in hand. They'll follow the stars and the golden sand. Every new town, another great story, living this life in all of its glory. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze, roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go, forever Huffs living, wherever they go. So if you see them on by, give them a wave. They're chasing adventure, they're feeling brave. Larry and Saucy, hearts open wide, forever Huffs living, enjoying the ride.
Well, what's happening, Paul? I guess you're the only one in here for right now. But here we are doing our weekly live.
I had it up.
Oh, you had it up, now you took it down?
I took it down. It was wadded up.
I thought she was talking about mine. Mine's getting long, too. About need a haircut. Hey, y'all get some coffee and let's talk about something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I should have went and got another picture of our chickadees to share, but I didn't think about it till just now. I guess several people are over watching Mama Coop and Chris. They still got their, they do 2 hours every day. I figured we'd do an hour, but last time we went 2 hours. Sometimes we just get to ramming on. He's waiting on his date.
His what?
His date.
Date.
I know who his date. I know who his date
late.
is.
I know who his date is. And she's late.
Yeah, she's late. She's playing hard to get. She's going to be fashionably late for the date. Oh, she'll be here in a few minutes. She's really been helping me out on the birds each morning. She done named them all and putting names up there, and
keeping you straight on who's who.
Yeah, she keeps me straight. Sometimes I put the wrong name up. She lets me know. And right now I've got this project going on, and really, between 7 and 9, it's cool outside, and the weather's right. I need to be outside working on that. And this morning I did. I just had to walk away from the birds and go outside and, working on my old truck, getting it ready. I planned on painting today.
She's so special.
Yes, she is. But the weatherman said we were going to have rain today, so I backed it off a day.
It was supposed to be storms and such.
Yeah, it's supposed to be storming today, and we had a beautiful day. I could have painted it today, but I didn't prep it yesterday to be able to paint today because what the weatherman said, but
'Cause he didn't
anyhow,
want it to be. He didn't want it to be taped too long.
right.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Is what it said. Well, let me look.
Oh, I hope not, because I got it taped.
It was supposed to rain all the way up through Saturday
Well,
morning.
it's getting painted tomorrow.
I said, let me see what
Yeah,
the weather.
check the weather, because it's taped up, ready to go. It took me all day today to tape that truck up.
Oh, let's go to bed. 5 o'clock was early.
I know
this
you.
morning.
She had a sleepover last night. She didn't get much sleep.
Mild hit and miss showers tomorrow.
I'll take hit and miss.
50%. We had hit and miss today, so
Well,
it missed more than it hit.
it's getting painted tomorrow. But yeah, early in the morning is the best time to do that.
It's Saturday. It's supposed to be hit and miss 40%. We got a garage sale Saturday. I hope we still get to do it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, it was sunny here today all day too. And the reason I didn't prep the truck yesterday for paint today because they said it was going to rain all day today. And then, boy, that was wrong. It was pretty all day.
Is Miss PJ in now?
I could have painted it this morning. I don't know. We got 2 people watching. The other one's probably Miss PJ. She's waiting. She's watching. She's a little fly up on the wall, watching to see what's going to be said.
Make sure Paul's not going to talk about
Make sure Paul don't talk about her bad or something. So anyway,
I'm scared on the way.
that's what my deal was today. But it took me all day
I know.
to get that thing taped up and ready to paint tomorrow. So I probably couldn't have had it ready yesterday anyway, because I would have started the taping process yesterday afternoon and I would have run out of time because I didn't realize how long it was going to take to get that thing prepped and ready. Because I don't paint cars for a living, never have. So I can't look at something, well, it's going to take X amount of hours or whatever, because I don't do it on a regular basis. But it's coming together. It's looking good. That old truck's going to look good. And I'm filming all that, so I'll have a video out probably next week, first of next week, on what I've done to the truck since the last video. And I think on the last video, I finished up the silver paint. And I had to do a little bit of touching up on the silver, and I'm working towards getting the blue on. I'm going to paint it on tomorrow. I'll film some of that. And then I'll probably end that video after once I get everything untaped and all that, and you can see the truck with full paint on it. I'm looking forward to it. What'd you do today, Paul? Anything? I had trouble with Restream today. I'm not talented at it either, Paul. I think this will be the 3rd vehicle I've painted.
Does that include the boat?
Oh, I forgot about the boat. Well, I painted a Mustang years ago, and it was terrible. Back when we was on Magnolia Avenue.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I really didn't know what I was doing on that one. And back then, they didn't have the HVLP spray guns that come from the top. It was all bottom fed. And I bought a cheap one from Sears and Roebuck. But anyhow, that was my first attempt at painting. That was a long time ago. And then I painted another Mustang, which turned out much better. But it still had some, issues on it that, I learned from. I painted the boat. I did that with automotive paint. It turned out pretty good. And
we weren't real particular on
I wasn't real particular on the boat, but it still turned out good. And then I painted the top of a car one of the kids had.
You painted that truck the hood for
I
the
painted
truck.
the hood of that truck one time, just playing around. So I've done a little bit of it along the years in different ways, learning, watching a lot of videos, learning what
He
works and
said he
what don't
worked
work.
this morning, so he
Okay.
could come back and watch
At home for
streams.
all the strings. Hey, Miss Wednesday, how are you?
Hey, Wednesday.
I think, let's see. Some of you folks have jumped over on Facebook and hit us with friend requests on Facebook. I think Wednesday is on our friends now, and who all? Chris is on there. Mama Coop, I think, hit us with a friend request
I don't know if I've got her.
on our personal
I don't
Facebook
know if I
pages.
got her. I don't know who all I have.
So y'all get to see more personal what we are about on Facebook. But anyway, so yeah, I've learned, and kind of the key, or what really, I don't want to take any chances. Like when you're painting, if the temperature's real high, that's not good. Your paint has a tendency to be dry. We had our first chickadee. Oh, on your feeder. Ah, cool. Yeah, I saw that. I started to say something. I saw that, and you didn't know what it was, and you said something about, what kind of bird is it? I knew it was a chickadee, but I didn't say anything.
Hey, Miss PJ.
Yeah, Miss PJ's finally in there. Hey. But anyhow, with Paul, back to the painting. So I don't want to paint when it's too hot, and you don't want to paint when it's high humidity because it takes it longer to dry. You have a tendency to get more runs in it and that sort of stuff. So, I'm trying to make sure I paint at the ideal time and, give myself every chance to get it right. So that's why I'll have to paint early in the morning while it's cool and the humidity's down. But I got me a new gun, which wasn't a terribly expensive gun. It is on the cheaper side, but I bought it at Harbor Freight. It's not made by Harbor Freight, but I bought it at Harbor Freight. And I painted that silver with it, and it really impressed me. That gun did really good. So I'm looking forward to putting the blue on tomorrow. Because of our videos. Yeah, I saw it, and I'm like, that'd be too easy for me to tell what it is. I let everybody else guess at it or tell you or whatever. She had a chickadee landing on her bird feeder.
Oh.
And she captured it on either video or picture. I can't remember. And she was asking, what kind of bird is this? When I looked, I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't want to spoil it. I figured, just let a lot of people guess or whatever until somebody figured it out. But it was a little chickadee. We've got 5 or 6 baby chickadees in our house out there. I should have taken a picture before I started this live so I could show everybody the progress, but maybe I'll get one tomorrow. So this morning with the bird feeder, I stayed in there for a little bit, but I finally said, I got to go outside and work. And what I was doing was taping and getting the truck ready to paint tomorrow. And I just got through with that a couple hours ago. I worked on that all day in that truck.
All day.
Getting it taped up, plastic on it and all that, and ready to paint tomorrow. I figured it would have taken me a couple of hours. I was wrong. It took all day to tape that truck up.
A real painter would have.
A real painter probably could have done it in a couple of hours.
Hey, Skipper.
Hey, Skipper, what's happening, man? I've been catching some of your videos, but I hadn't caught you live too much. Yeah, the chickadees grow fast, and I think they start flying at about 2 weeks. 2 weeks old, they start flying. So they grow quick. And we're probably a week in on the ones that are out there now.
No.
No?
Where's your camera?
Oh, no. It's all on my phone right there. Are you going to look back at when they were hatching out? Well, that's a good idea. See what day I took that picture. So, yeah, they grow. I guess the smaller they are, the faster they grow.
What is that? Oh, that's
the little
them.
birds. Yeah.
See that?
Let's see. I might have a picture on the computer.
See. April the 28th.
Put cowboy hats on the birds. No, it wasn't me. It's a good idea,
The
though.
28th.
The 28th is when they were born.
Well,
That's when they were hatching out. Oh, goodness.
Bring up your calendar.
Yeah, let's bring the calendar up. So if they were born on the 28th, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're 10 days old now. As they start flying at 2 weeks.
She says 12 to 16 days.
Okay. Well,
PJ.
Yeah, I said about 2 weeks.
Well, she said 12 to 26 days there and 12 to 16. I don't know.
I thought I had pictures in here of them little mouths. Maybe I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. I'm going to bring a picture up, let y'all see. I'll have to go back and watch. Yeah, the watch time's coming up, Skipper. We're at, I think, we're close to 3,800 hours. We need about 200 more. So, you know, it's getting there slowly. I'm trying to get this picture to open up. I'm going to say, if I look at it now, it's 3750, somewhere in there, but it runs about 4 days behind, and the 4 days that it has to catch up is going to put me right at 3,800. So we need 200 more, and I think we'll get there fairly quick. I don't know why this picture is not wanting to open up for me. But we'll talk to the people.
Miss PJ, you had a lot of information going out this morning on different birds. Oh, I think it was blue jays. She had I don't know what she's supposed to be doing here. A lot of information.
Oh, I love the fun facts Miss PJ puts out
She had
there.
a lot of fun facts today on blue jays.
Blue jays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the fun facts you put out. I wasn't there to see most of them this morning, but that's good stuff. And I've also started playing the chat along with the live, so people that are watching on their TV can see the chat. A lot of people stay and watch just curiosity of what's going to be said in the chat. And I got to looking at my statistics, and about 50% of the people watching our videos are watching it on the TV. So that's why I put that on. I can't get these pictures to open up. Oh, well, there it is.
The mouth isn't open.
No, they didn't have their mouths open when I took those pictures. Let's see. This is what we have. That's what's in the chickadee house right now. So I see a mouth. I see a mouth there. That's one. I see a mouth here. That's two. I see a mouth down here is three. A mouth there is four. The mouth there is five. So I see five for sure. It might be another one down here that's up under the group, but it's 5 of them for sure. Oh, thank you, Skipper, for sharing this. Maybe we'll get some more folks in here and get that watch time up. And hopefully people will subscribe. Maybe we're just entertaining enough to pique people's curiosity and they'll come in and listen to our foolishness. But I believe I would rather be on here watching, all of our group and stuff than watching the news. I mean, you don't know what to believe on the news because everybody skews it to their side, whether it be right or left. And you just don't know what to believe to the point where I don't even want to watch it. I'll watch every few days just to kind of. I don't really watch news on TV at all. I got a few commentators that I like to watch on YouTube. I kind of get what I think is the real deal from.
So where are you located?
Oh, it's a guy in, where was he at? He was up on near the Great Lakes.
Wisconsin?
He's up around Wisconsin, but he's got some parts I need. I don't know. This is a 15-hour drive. I don't know if I'm going to drive that far. So I get my entertainment now really from my entertainment and my news. And my entertainment halftime is just watching you guys, watching y'all's commentating and that sort of stuff. And then I got, some things I'm into. That's the great thing about YouTube. So whatever you're into, and my interests, I don't know how y'all are, but my interests change every few months. Right now, my interest is in automotive painting and painting that truck, and I'm watching a ton of videos on that, and everything from how to set your gun up to what kind of technique to use to, all that good stuff. Hey, Chucky. Yeah, the bird feeder's getting me about 8 to 10 hours every morning. So that helps a lot. And these lives do pretty good. You folks are great coming in here and helping us out on our lives. And then I've got some just regular videos out there that are getting, pretty even watch time. So it's clicking off. I'm hoping next week, maybe by the end of next week, maybe we'll be at the 4,000 mark, unless something drastic happens between now and then. If I have 50 or 100 people to go, binge watch our videos, and it would get there overnight. But I don't see that happening. But like I was saying, the YouTube stuff, what's great about that is whatever I'm into, that's what I go watch. It's I like to play chess. I play chess on chess.com, and there's a ton of videos out there. These, grandmasters teaching how to play different openings and end games and all that kind of stuff. So I'll binge watch that for a while, and just whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm into at the time. I'm into the Morse code. I'm into the ham radio. I watch a lot of those type videos. It's just what I like, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing. Whatever you're into, that's the channels and videos that you watch. It's like personalized for you, and I like that. All right, I'm trying to read all the comments so I can keep up with what's happening. Wednesday said her sister-in-law calls her husband Chucky. We call him the plumber. That's still funny. So this is our, I think, second week to do our Thursday live, and we're just bored enough. We can't do it every night, but once a week we could probably come up with enough to talk about and try to keep you guys entertained. If y'all help us out in the chat, keep things going. But basically, the format that I've come up with, it's 4 parts. The first part is we just open up and just talk about whatever, just carry on, cut up a little bit. And when that kind of teeters out, and then we're going to talk about one topic that's in the news, and I've got one for today. And then the third part is I'm going to promote somebody's channel. It may be somebody that's in our circles. It may be something else. It might just be a channel that I like to watch. Last week, I promoted a channel that has plenty of followers, but she's only been online with her channel 4 months, and it's just exploded. And I thought it was pretty cool. She got a hot dog stand. So I talked about her last week. So that's the third part of what we're going to do. And now the fourth part I've come up with is we're going to have a pet of the week section. That'll be right at the end. We'll have pet of the week. So if you have a pet and you want it to be considered for pet of the week, I'm going to put our email address up here. And you just email me a picture of your pet with a description and maybe something about their personality or whatever. And we will, maybe select your pet for pet of the week. And we have one for this week. So there's the email. I just popped it up there. So get a nice little picture of your favorite little furry animal, or your bird, or your cat, or your elephant, if you have one. Whatever it is, just one of your pets, and email me a picture with a name and description and personality trait or something. And
Chucky says, any opinions on the new Pope?
Well, see, now you're jumping the gun, because that was going to be the topic we talk about today.
Well, go ahead and talk about it and then get back to your BS. I mean, he said he's already asked a question. You can't ignore a question.
Well, here's the thing. All right. Okay. That was going to be the topic in the news I was going to talk about today. Our new Pope. No, I don't want to say our new Pope, because I'm not Catholic.
The
new Pope. How about that? We'll go with that. So here we go. The new Pope. I don't know much about.
He don't look old.
No, he looks like he might be there a while. Here you go. So there's the new Pope. I do know that. No, I am not a drone pilot. I've never. I had one little remote control helicopter one time, but really, I don't know. I'm not going to say it does not interest me. I would probably enjoy it and have fun with it, but I've never really done it. So all I know about the new Pope is he is from America, and he's the first American Pope. That's all I know. I'm not Catholic. I've never really looked into the Catholic stuff. I don't know. What do they consider the Pope? Is he just the leader of the church, or do they consider him, what am I trying to say, like godlike, holy, something more than human? An angel, similar to an angel? I mean, I don't know. Or is he just
Google it? He's
just a guy that's over the Catholic Church. I mean, I don't know how the Catholic religion works. And let me be clear, I'm not knocking the Catholic religion because I'm not Catholic. I'm just saying I'm not Catholic. I don't know how they work. Maybe y'all can tell me. So Pope is head of the, yeah, I got that, but is that it? I mean, do some people consider him like more than that? I do know that back in the day, the Catholic Church is all you had. So the leader, I'm just reading on Google. The leadership involves interpreting and upholding the church doctrine, addressing contemporary issues from a Catholic perspective, and promoting unity and charity within the church and broader society. Well, that's good.
Keep reading
Okay,
it.
so Chucky says that's it. The Pope is also the head of the Vatican City state, making him a significant religious and political figure. All right, cool. Yeah, he does have influence in the world, without a doubt, because Catholics are all over the world. Like I say, back in the day, that's all you had was Catholics. And don't quote me, I'm not an expert on all this, but you had a guy named Martin Luther that kind of changed things up. And then other religions, Protestant and all that stuff kind of came out of that. But prior to that, Catholics all there was. Oh, do they have a bank, Chucky? You're telling me something I didn't know. I know that the Knights Templars were one of the first groups to use a banking type system. There again, don't quote me because I'm not an expert on anything, but way back in the day, people were getting, on their journeys, they were getting robbed. The Christians were getting robbed by other factions or maybe just bad people. I don't know. So the Knights Templars, they developed a system to where they would give the person a note, like a bank note, and say, when you get to the end of your journey, give that to our brothers over there and they will redeem it for you. So that way they made their trip without actually carrying money. And I think that was the first record of a banking type system. And that was the Knights Templars doing that. Church of England was because the king wanted to get. All right, Chucky, tell me more about this king wanting to get a divorce. I'm not clear on what you're saying there. I'm going to show Chucky's comment there. It has influence in the world. It does have influence all over the world. And world leaders, make a point to go by and meet the Pope and see the Pope. And I'm sure they talk behind the scenes. I'm sure they all talk politics with the Pope. I'm sure. Put that on. Subscribe to Forever Huffs Living. Yeah. So yeah, that's the news topic I was going to talk about today is the Pope. But I was hoping some of you folks were Catholic and maybe could enlighten us on the Pope's role and how, as a Catholic, how you feel about this guy being elected Pope. How did the they made his own church? Hey, do what you have to do when you got a crazy woman you need to get rid of. Do what you have to do. So I didn't watch the stuff about the Pope. I know that they watched the chimney and it's some smoke and seemed like the smoke is white, if I'm not mistaken, but once the Pope is elected, it turns to a black smoke. The other way around, so it's black, and then when the Pope is elected, it's white. But doesn't it have to do with the ballots that they cast? They burn the ballots, and I don't know. But maybe y'all can tell me, how do they change the color of the smoke from black to white? So bishops are like Congress, and the cardinals are like governors. So the bishops outrank the cardinals. Oh, wait a minute. Or bishops are like the Senate. Cardinals are like governors. And the bishops like Senate. So it's structured similar to a government. Then the priests are at the local level, and of course they collect from their people. And I assume a portion of that has to then go up to higher levels. Okay, so it's not the ballots. I've never really looked at. I do know. I do know that everybody watches the smoke, and when it changes colors, then they know a new pope has been elected. That raises the question. I'm Baptist, and we give money to our church like we should. But I don't know if a portion of that money goes to I know there are some, like the Baptist convention and state Baptist. I'll have to ask that question. I really don't know. I've never thought about it. Maybe not. I don't know. The Pope is elected by the cardinals. Okay. I bet you there's a lot of inside politics goes on to get that job. So where does the Pope come out of? Does he come out of the cardinals or out of the bishops? Was he a bishop or was he a cardinal? I don't understand the step there. I'm looking at this guy. They say he's an American, the first American Pope. He almost looks like he is of Indian descent, from India. I don't know. Might just be the picture. Okay. So they do burn the ballots, but they add some other stuff too. I got you. And probably there's probably a lot of ballots, because I'm sure there's more than one vote. There's probably several votes before they finally get it. Okay, so the Pope can actually be anyone that has had all his sacraments. I'm not familiar with sacraments, but that's interesting. Gives me something to go research and look at. Okay, Paul says he comes out of the Cardinals. Chucky says he can be anybody as long as he's had all his sacraments. Usually falls on the Cardinals due to their lifetime practice of chastity. So can a Pope not be married? baptism, first communion, and confirmation. Okay, so it's not a whole lot. So, of all these people you're talking about, she's looking at it here. Bishop, a cardinal, priest, a deacon, and even a Catholic layman can become pope. Has to be 35 years old and has studied courses on the Bible, theology, or canon law at the university. And it tells about how he's elected. So, are all of these in this line, like from priest on up? Can they not get married, or they just choose not to? What's the deal? Yeah, and I know nuns, I guess, don't get married in the Catholic Church. There are some churches similar to Catholic where they can get married.
Yeah, Papa's a priest.
Yeah, we've got a nephew that's a priest, but in the particular thing he's in, they can be married. He's married and got a house full of kids to the tune of 6. Okay, so a deacon cannot.
It's not what it says.
Okay, I'm confused. So a deacon can be married. Does that mean he can't go any further? There's many people, us included, we put God first, but we're still married, and we put each other, I guess you'd say, second to God, and then family. So in the Catholic Church, deacons can be married. So then that means a deacon can't go any further.
See, he's saying it cannot become pope, but this
Right.
says he can become pope.
Man must be baptized, and many popes in the past have been laymen, deacons, priests, or bishops. But whether they were laymen or deacons, they were probably still practicing celibacy. Okay, so if a deacon's married, he can't really go any further unless his wife passes away and he doesn't remarry. Yeah, that's interesting, because Catholics, by and large, do not use or practice birth control, and they have huge families. Hey, more power to them. I can't imagine having to raise 6 or 8 kids. We had 3, and that was, they were great. I'm just talking about the financial burden of raising a family. It takes a lot of money. All 3 of our kids were awesome, and we wouldn't change anything. But man, I can't imagine in this day and age trying to raise 6 or 8 children. That's a lot. Okay, in today's church, deacons can participate in the mass, but cannot bless the bread or the wine. Okay, so it's just inside rules of what each person can do. All priests in the Catholic Church are male. I agree with that 100%. Men are to be the leaders. Yep. I don't know. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to all the different religions. No, I'm not wording that. Not religions. Say it's all Christianity, but you have some churches that let women do different things. You have some churches that do this, and some church. I don't get wrapped around the collar about all the different churches. I'm good old Southern Baptist. We got a small Baptist church we go to, and they still cling to the old ways and the old doctrine, and that's what I like. So that's what we do, and I don't pay a whole lot of attention to other things. I can't control it. It's almost like
You can take his picture down now.
it's almost like the presidential election. It's not a whole lot I can do. I've got one vote, and I cast my vote, and that's really all I can do. So I don't get caught up in all the politics of the day when it's time for the presidential election and that sort of stuff. And I'm kind of the same way with all these different churches doing different things. And I'm not even going to get caught up in all that. We've got our little church we go to. I like it. It's old school. And I spend most of my time doing my own reading and studying and devotion time and prayer time. And I can concentrate on my journey and not all the outside stuff. Yeah, you're right, Chucky.
100%.
Yes, the Christian faith, obviously, the word Christ is the root of the word. Yeah, that's why he died. And that's when, it all changed because of his sacrifice. And now we have the ability to be born again by accepting Jesus. Now, see, we're going to go to church now. This wasn't part of the 4 things, but I'm not going to turn away from it. We'll go to church, I believe it's John 4:4, said, unless a man be born again, he will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So you repent of your sins, accept Jesus Christ, and you're born again, and then you'll go to heaven. That's the way that works. And I hope all of you go, because I'm headed that way, brother. And I want all y'all to be there with me. Yeah, I can see I can see when we start talking about this, the number of people watching will start going down. And I told somebody the other day, you can talk about any religion you want to, and there's no inner thing goes on about it. It's you talk about whatever you want to, but just as soon as you mention Christianity and Jesus, something inside just turns people off. They don't want to hear it. There's a movement that goes on inside them to get away from it or start with. And what I've said about that is that should be your proof right there that that's the true religion. Satan, he don't care if you're talking about all that other stuff. He don't care if you believe in all that other stuff. But as soon as you start talking about Christianity and that sort of stuff, Satan jumps in and tries to get you to change the channel, turn the page, get out of the conversation, whatever. So to me, that ought to be proof enough that you just hit the right one. You just hit the truth. Okay, I'll leave it there. So my handful of people I have watching, when I make it through to the pearly gates, he won't look at me and say, you never told those people. You heard it here. I just told you. And I'm not a preacher or anything like that. You start quoting scripture, and I can quote a few, but that's about it. And that's shame on me. I should study more. And I will. I'll do some more. But that's my walk. Y'all concentrate on your walk. All right, we got to talk about somebody's channel today. And I was trying to decide whose channel do we want to talk about. Most of y'all follow the same channels I do, so I don't know that I'll be helping them per se. But I'm going to talk about, and I guess they're still live over there. They end in about 10 minutes. I don't know if we'll still be going or not. But the channel that I wanted to talk about today is Mama Coop. Mama Coop in the house. Let's talk about Mama Coop's channel. So Mama Coop, we know is Mr. Coop's wife. And she decided to start her own channel. And she has, let's see, 713 subscribers. She's trying to get to that magic 1,000 like we all are. And she works all day and then comes in and does 2 hours every day with Chris over in Belgium. They have turned into the Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama Coop and the Wizards talk show.
Yeah. Mama Coop and the Wizards talk show. They do that every day for 2 hours. And they start at 5 o'clock our time.
6 o'clock Eastern.
6 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. 5 o'clock Central and whatever else we got out there. And they're getting their battle rhythm down. They're getting it rolling, and they got it going, and it's interesting to listen to. But the main thing is, she works all day and then comes in and does this for 2 hours, and it's a lot of effort and work that goes into doing these things. So I'm sure all of you watching are subscribed to her already. But if you're not, or if you're watching this live stream later and you're not subscribed to Mama Coop, go check her out. They're working hard to try to get that thing going and make it a pleasure to watch, which I think it is. They come up with interesting topics from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them little sneaky dogs.
What they do? They got Neil to give them another one?
Yeah. Did you give them one? I did.
So our dogs, they eat dinner in the afternoon, and after they eat dinner, they get a treat. So she fed them their dinner and gave them a treat. And then the son just walked out from his room, and they went begging him, and he gave them another treat. They lied to him because I'm sure he asked them if they've already had a treat, and they probably said, no. So they got a second treat for the free. Dogs. Are they playing the simulated trucking game on their live stream right now, Paul? Is that what they're doing? I might have to look at that trucking game. That would be fun. I always told my wife if I hadn't have been a pilot, I probably would have been a truck driver. I would have done anything driving something. I would have just as much fun driving, I think, a dump truck as I did driving helicopters. As long as I was driving something, I would have enjoyed it. A big truck. When I retired, I thought about going to get my license and go drive a big truck, but I'd have been a terrible employee. I'd have been late. I'd have took my time and saw the country in different areas. So I didn't do it, but I thought about it. I thought it'd be fun, just let somebody else pay me to go see the country. But I've always enjoyed driving things. And if I hadn't been a pilot, I'd have been driving something. I'd have been a truck driver or operating a dozer or something. That's just me. But anyway, Mama Coop's channel is the channel we wanted to share tonight. If you haven't subscribed to her already, go over there and show her some love. Now they're happy. They've had their dinner and their treats and they're ready to play. Yeah, that's what I think, Chuck. It'd just be, let somebody pay me to go see the country. Yep, I think I would have liked it. I sure would have. I don't mind driving something big. I've got my dually truck and I've got a 42-foot long fifth wheel. I pull it around. I had a 40 or 42-foot motorhome, drove it. I don't mind driving something big or pulling something. But I've never looked at the games, the driving simulators. All right, I tell you what we're gonna do. Let's go watch them. I'm not gonna put sound to it, but we'll go watch them. There they go. That looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? No, I do have some sound in there. Y'all probably hear that. Let me turn the sound off. So they're over there playing their game. Their live is supposed to end in 3 minutes. I bet it doesn't. I bet they keep going. They're going to lose track of the time and keep it going. All right, so you had an uncle that had a garage in his sleeper. So on his big truck, he had one of them big double boxes on the back of it. He could keep his Harley in his truck with him. Yeah, I had an uncle. You was talking about the driving so many miles and so many hours in a day and all that. I had an uncle years ago, where everything was done on paper and they would cook their books and all that junk. He would drive way over what he should. He popped in pills, to stay awake and all that, but it killed him. He had a massive heart attack at 51, 52, something like that. And it was from taking all them pills and things, all them years driving that truck. But hopefully he didn't die in vain because, things like that happened to him is the reason all these rules and stuff got put into place, to kind of protect these truck drivers because the companies back then would push them to do that stuff. If you didn't do that, they just let you go and find somebody that would, But he hauled chemicals cross country. He had it's different licenses and things that you can do, but he was on up there where he could haul chemicals cross country, and he made a good living. But he pushed it, and I really believe that's what killed him. Matter of fact, he died right beside his truck. He pulled over and got out of his truck, and they found him laying next to it. So he was out there working the day he died. But he pushed it hard. He did, trying to make a good living for his family. So y'all can tell them we were creeping their channel. Yeah, we were creeping their channel while they were playing their game. So I was hoping they would send everybody over from their channel when they end their live, but if they're going to keep going, then there's no telling when they'll stop. They liable to go for 2 or 3 hours. And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, everything's done electronic now. That stuff's done electronic, and then most of the companies can monitor their drivers and their speed and all that kind of stuff. So if they're out there, speeding, they'll chastise them, to make sure they do the speed. Well, for a while there, all the trucks were running the speed limit. Now it looks like they picked it back up a little bit. We do a lot of interstate driving where we live here. We got interstate, and I remember a couple of years ago, every truck was running 70 miles an hour. They did not get over 70. But here lately, I'm running 80, and I see trucks are creeping up on me. Some of them doing more than 80. So you can do 11-hour day, and then you have to take 8 hours off or 6 hours off after an 11-hour day. I don't know. I've never been a truck driver. Chucky's giving us a lot of good information today on the boat and truck driving. I like it. So you do your 11 hours, and then you have to stop for so many hours. Is it 6 hours? Is it 8 hours? What is it? Thank you for being on Rumble, Miss PJ. I forget about Rumble, but yeah, we're streaming this on YouTube and Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, bring that one up too. 8 hours. So you have to take 8 hours off. So yeah, he can hop on his Harley and go for a couple of hours and then get his 6 hours of sleep. Kick it back in. Uh, 15 when there's foul weather. So you take 8 hours off, but if there's bad weather, you can take 15 hours off. Is that what you're saying? Hey, fun laughter. That's Miss PJ over on Rumble. Paul jumped over on Rumble. Thank y'all. If Rumble would get, about as big as YouTube is, I would.
Oh, look how cute the little baby is.
I hadn't put it up there yet.
Oh. Well, still a cute baby.
So I've got on my other screen, I've got the pet of the week up there. She sat down and saw it. So the person that owns that pet, and I'm not going to tell who has it, I'm going to let them guess when I put it up there. But the person that pet belongs to is in here tonight. Yeah. So he or she is watching.
Yeah.
Yep. But okay, so Chucky's in Canada. Said they can be on shift for 13 hours a day. Okay. I forgot to mention Rumble. I think Miss PJ mentioned it. So some of them are bringing over to Rumble also. I always forget to mention that we have Rumble. So yeah, in the mornings, even the bird feeder, I have it streaming on YouTube and Rumble. Okay, so you got some numbers you kind of have to crunch. A maximum of 70 hours in a week, but you can do 15 hours a day, and then you got to have your 8 hours off. Yeah, so you have to kind of, probably is a good thing they've gone electronic. 60 hours in the USA and 70 in Canada. So when y'all become the 51st state, I wonder if we're going to adopt y'all's hours on truck driving or our hours. I'll go ahead and stir that hornet's nest. I don't think Canada will ever be the 51st state, but what I don't understand is Canada's big. Why would it be one state? I would think you would have to split it up into several states if it were to happen, which I don't think it will. But if it were to happen, it's big enough you'd have to make several states out of Canada. It wouldn't be just one big state, would it? What do y'all think? I mean, if you did that, that's half the size of the U.S. Y'all got the emojis going on over there on Rumble. I like it. Y'all got it happening. Yeah, they still driving their trucks over there on Mama Coop and the Wizards talk show. They done started driving their trucks. They're not paying attention to time now. They might not ever shut that down. They'll be up all night. I have never been to Canada. We've got another son, and he's in Alaska right now. He's stationed up there with the Air Force. We have tossed around the idea of driving to Alaska, doing the Alcan Highway and driving to Alaska. We haven't decided to do it, but we have not ruled it out completely yet either. So that would give us a chance to see some of Canada, or a lot of Canada. Uh-oh, somebody just wrecked. Run off the road, hit a pole, and wrecked. That was Mama Coop. Now she's trying to get back on the road. I got to share that. I'm going to share that screen. So there she is trying to get back on the road. Yeah, she hit a light pole and went up on that hill. Now look, she almost pulled out on that person driving. I'll do it that way. That way y'all can see both. So yeah, they're over there driving their trucks. So I don't know if y'all know, but is that a program that's online, or is that something you have to have on your computer? Or I might go look. I might want to go drive a truck one of these days. Chris will be in on the bird feeder in the morning. I'll talk to him about it. Oh, Georgie's in there driving too. Well, whatever it takes to pass the time, I suppose. Hey, troublemaker, what's happening? It was two of us in here, but now it's one. She'll come back. She's yelling at me from in there. I'm going to let her do pet of the week. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they need to do on their channel is just do truck driving all the time. Well, come in here and let's do pet of the week, and then we'll get off of here. Okay. You know, I had some stuff wrote down about this pet of the week, and I don't see my paper now. Yeah, I do. See what we got right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're fixing to share pet of the week. Here is our pet of the week. Now, this sweet little girl is
Part Siberian Husky and Foxhound.
Yep, Siberian Husky and Foxhound.
With an attitude.
Got a little bit of an attitude,
But he is a loving little dog.
She. She's a loving little dog. And from what we are told, she does not bark.
Unless somebody comes to the door.
Unless somebody comes to the door. Somebody knocks on the door, then she goes into I gotta bark mode. You know, we have wireless doorbells too. I know y'all hear them every now and then. Most of the time, people don't even have to knock on the door.
Look.
If they just come to the door.
Did I bring him? Oh, did I bring him coffee?
I am out of coffee.
No, I didn't bring this out.
We done drank it all.
I don't know.
All right, so now is the time y'all get to guess whose pet is this? Who does this sweet little girl belong to?
Wait, Fun Laughter, is that Miss PJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's her.
She wants to know what was for supper.
Oh, what we had for supper? We had
Fried ribs,
fried pork chops, squash, and
potatoes.
Potatoes, yeah, the new potatoes. Yep, that's what we had.
It's pretty good.
And it was delicious. Yeah, you don't have to ring the bell at our house. Usually if somebody just walks up to the door, we got a big, glass door. And, it has it's cut glass, it's not just a plain glass. But anyway, they see movement outside that door. They'll bark at a truck going down the road, and it's all the way out on the road. They just see movement on that door, and they bark. So I will say this, the person that this sweet little girl belongs to is watching tonight and is in the chat. So does anybody have a guess as to whose sweet little girl this is? Who owns this sweet little girl? I like the fact that she's patriotic. She's sitting by the stars and stuff.
Do we have a name?
We didn't have a name.
Oh.
Yeah. Paul says he thinks it's Miss PJ. Yes, there is a helicopter flight simulator. You can get it on Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. Both have helicopters that you can do. Sure do. Anybody else want to guess who the pet of the week belongs to?
Who the bleak?
Bleak. Houses have 10-foot walls between the house and the street due to the terrorism issues in the night. You can't see him. Well, that's a good thing. Troublemaker says he thinks you own that one.
Who's Troublemaker?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Paul thinks it's Miss PJ. Troublemaker thinks it's you. All right. This sweet little girl belongs to Miss PJ. So Miss PJ has the very first pet of the week on our live stream. Chucky said all he knows is not his. Yep, we do have 7 in here. Elimination game. Yeah, that's Miss PJ's little girl there. Yep, she was in on the first pet of the week for our live stream.
So what are they're flying, they're driving?
They're driving trucks. So there's a program out there somewhere, that you can drive trucks on. That's what they're doing. I don't know if I still have it up or not. I don't have it up. I can bring it up.
I was supposed to say, can't you get it?
Yeah. We were watching them a little bit.
I was coming. I just had something.
Had things to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so they ended.
Star is her name.
Looks okay. Star is the name of the puppy. Yeah, see, they had the simulator going. Okay, looks like Mama Coop and them finally ended their truck driving live, but it looked fun though. One blue eye and one brown eye. Star is her name. That's Miss PJ's dog. So thank you, Miss PJ, for sending in a picture of your pet and a little description and letting Star be the first pet of the week.
Let Star be the star of the show.
Star was the star. That's right. She was a star of the show. So Rack and Pinion, yeah. How you doing, Harry? Glad you came in here. Yeah. Any kind of mechanic work to me is hard now. Hey, heroes, we watched y'all doing your truck driving over there. We were kind of watching some of that. That looked fun. So, heroes, is that a program online, or do you have to download something on your computer to do the truck driving? Janine Pirro nominated for U.S. Attorney for D.C. That's interesting. Yeah, it is hot right now. I don't do a whole lot. Well, I guess I sort of do. I try not to do a whole lot of mechanic work anymore. I'm getting too old to crawl up under something and work hard like that. I just take it to the shop. Hey, Georgie. Glad you decided to jump over. I heard you was over there driving a truck. Got it from Steam. Okay. I think I have a Steam account I've made several years ago. Never used it. Time to get the gremlin is here. All right, troublemaker. Appreciate you stopping in this evening. Really, she accepted that. I'm surprised. She got a pretty good gig at Fox News. I'm surprised she's leaving that. I know, man. The getting up and down kills me. I can't do it like I used to. Well, maybe Coop and Georgie need to go fill in at Fox News since so many people are leaving. Oh, they wouldn't listen to the GPS. They thought they knew better. Is that the deal, Chris? Higgs said, who was Duffy?
I don't know who does.
I don't remember Duffy. I know Piro and I know Hegseth. I'm glad they putting some younger people in these positions that, are kind of scrappy. They're ready to work, get things done. She didn't just say, "Hey, Harry." She said, "My sweet Harry."
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal there? Mm-hmm.
Jealous, are we?
Oh, Jordan, you see, Mama Coop crashed you. You didn't. You wasn't at fault at all. Okay, I'll have to see who these Duffies are. I'm not familiar with them. But honestly, I've gotten to where I don't watch. I used to watch a lot of Fox News, but over the past few years, I've gotten where I don't watch much. I catch bits and pieces on YouTube, little clips they put. But I don't watch Fox like I used to. I miss Rush Limbaugh though. I like listening to him. Chris, you're not going to get involved as who was at fault? Sean Duffy. I'll have to go look. So when you're doing that on stream, can y'all see each other? Like, going down the road, can you pull up beside one of the other players' trucks? I know you can't see that. It's a computer animated person in the truck, but can you see their truck and they can see your truck and y'all can do things together? Prosecutors are going to strike. Everybody's pension is too small. Just ask them. Well, that answers that question. So y'all can see each other's trucks. And Mama Coop ran her truck into George's truck. Oh, that's neat. I might have to go to Stream and see what that's about. I might want to drive a truck. It was her human GPS. So now that we got more people watching now. I was about to shut this down, but we got more people in here now. We'll keep it going. So we shot the breeze for a little while, and then we got into the new Pope, which is the first American Pope, and we talked a little bit about the Catholic Church. Not in a bad way, just general conversation. Chucky was a lot of help. I'm assuming Chucky is Catholic because he knew a lot about it and enlightened us on a lot of things. Hey, Menace. Miss PJ brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up about women drivers, but Miss PJ went there. The two women drivers run into each other. That's all I'm going to say. Take what you want to from that. Oh, you got to have a controller of some sort. What kind of controller? Like one of those Xbox controllers or something? and the gremlin drivers. Mm-hmm. Georgia, you were late getting here, but we have added a section to our Thursday night live, and it is Pet of the Week. So we have Pet of the Week now for each week, and our first pet was Star. And Star is Siberian Husky and Foxhound mix. And she was our first Pet of the Week. So if you have a pet that you would like to be featured as Pet of the Week, I'm going to put my email up here. I can't talk and type at the same time. There's the email. Send me a picture of your pet with a name and description and maybe something about their personality kind of thing. And maybe your pet will make next week's Pet of the Week. So send me an email. And if they don't make it next week, they might make it the following week. Yeah, we'll have one each week. And this sweet little girl belongs to Miss PJ. All right, Chucky, thanks for being here tonight. I enjoyed the conversation that we had about the different topics. We appreciate your knowledge you shared with us tonight. Good night. Have a good evening. Okay, for the new people that came in, this is Miss PJ's pet, and is our Pet of the Week that we will start doing every week. So send us a picture of your pet. I've put my email up a couple of times. How about I do it that way? There's the email. Send me a picture of your pet with a name and description, and tell us about the personality, what you like or don't like or whatever. Any little bit of information, and maybe your pet will be Pet of the Week on one of our Thursday night lives. Trying to figure which way I like, but I think I like that better. Can I look over there at Star? I like the Brady Bunch. All right, folks, we've been going for an hour and a half. That's a little longer than I planned. I try to get this thing down in an hour, about an hour each time. But we always seem to go over. We went 2 hours last time. I don't know that I can go another 30 minutes. Well, Menace, take a picture while she's asleep. Well, we've got a dog and a cat. So if y'all don't send me anything, I'm going to have to put my dog as Pet of the Week, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather put one of y'all's. So y'all send me some stuff on your pets. Hey, look, I'm going to turn this thing off. We've had a great time tonight. We had some good discussion about the new Pope and such. And I like our new Pet of the Week. I think that's going to be a fun thing to do. And y'all send me some stuff on that. And we will be back in the morning with our Bird Feeder Live. We have conversation just like this for 2 hours from 7 to 9 Central Time. We have some pretty good conversation there. So in the morning, when you get up, you're getting ready for work, or maybe you're at work, you got your computer going, bring up the bird feeder and chat with us and help us identify birds and name birds and all that good stuff. So we'll be back in the morning, 7 o'clock, bird feeder. Come hang out with us. And next Thursday, we'll do this again. We'll have our coffee with the Huffs.
We're home.
If we're home, we'll be home probably. Well, you came in here. You talk to them now. Say something.
Something. See, yeah, Georgie, if you have a lizard, that'll work. Pet, it didn't say dog.
That's right. Any kind
Says
of pet. You can be an elephant. If you got an elephant in the backyard, go take a picture of it. We'll put it on here. Actually, that was Miss PJ telling her to take a picture of her lizard. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. I'll be there. Greets from, but yep, Heroes, you come in just about every morning. Several of y'all come every morning. I don't want to start naming names. I miss somebody, and then, somebody get their feelings hurt. I don't want to hurt feelings. Yep. Send me a picture of that rabbit, Heroes. Anything you got, we'll take it. All right, guys. Y'all have a great evening. Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see y'all in the morning.